What up, though? And the crowd goes wild.
Hey Kyeezi, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? Let me guess. Pink?
How'd you
Is that your favorite color? Is that your favorite color?
It is, if you couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell. All right. For everybody joining us, it is Kirsti, right?
Indeed.
Kirsti Leaf, you are the third finalist I get the opportunity to chat to. You are in our top 5. And look, let's talk about the journey thus far. How are you feeling about being in the top 5?
I mean, it's been an incredible journey. It's actually been a short journey now that I think about it. I feel like everything's been happening really fast. No time to breathe. You find out the day before if you have to be speaking or have to be presenting something. So I think if anything, it's taught me adaptability and just rolling with it, So it really is a privilege to get this far into the competition. It's my first competition where I think I've been shortlisted thus far. So it's been incredible.
It's so crazy you say it's a lot to deal with in such a short space of time. Like, that's radio, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people don't talk about how on radio it's one moment this, the next moment that. So you are being inducted into radio because should your career begin now on commercial radio, that is your life every single day. This, that. Are you ready for that?
I think I'm ready. I mean, I've been chowing course in between being a part of the competition. I mean, I'm writing my final exams on the Friday, then the competition's in the afternoon. So I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be good.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? And why radio?
Cool. So let me start with who I am, right? So my name is Kirsti Leaf. I'm originally from Durban. Shout out to the 031. I'm currently in Cape Town. I'm at the University of Cape Town, and I came here in 2019. I'm currently studying a law degree, and no shame, it's clapping, hey? It really most, but I mean, taking it as it comes. I'm hopefully finishing next year. So yeah, the University of Cape Town's been great. Cape Town's really grown on me. I fell in love with the city. I fell in love with everything that it has to offer. So I'm really enjoying my time so far. And then I think if you were to ask me why radio, I think firstly, it's drama and entertainment in my DNA, I'll be honest. I mean, my upbringing was acting classes, dancing lessons, singing lessons, things, So I think it's something that comes quite naturally to me. And so as a result, I'm super passionate about it. But I think, more than that, I think it's really a privilege to be able to contribute, right, and add value to this ecosystem within the entertainment industry. I mean, radio plays such a big role in connecting music and trends and what's happening on the ground, and then delivering it to people, I think, who wouldn't know otherwise. It's about making it accessible, and kind of being this vehicle, I suppose. So being a part of that and putting people first and delivery, it's everything to me. I love it.
Guys, where do you guys come from, bro? Like, where do you, I've been doing these chats yesterday, and I'm thoroughly amazed at how you guys understand this platform. Having no professional background, but you get it. Like, you get it. It's about connecting your community. It's about sharing information. Like, you get it. Big up. And I think, past this competition, wherever or whatever happens, if you understand that basis of broadcasting, you've done half the work, So it's great to hear such a young person speak of it in that light, because a number of us only discover it while we're doing it, So this is why you love radio. What was your first engagement with radio? Where have you tried to do radio? Well, not commercially, but where have you tried?
Yeah, so in my second year, I joined UCT Radio. Shout out to UCT Radio. And I was there for just over a year. I dabbled in a lot of things. I was a podcaster. I was on the Live Drive show. I was offered a spot on the Breakfast show. And I eventually ended up on something called the Music Branch, which is very close to my heart. And it just really focused on, I think, amplifying up and coming talent, speaking to what's hot right now. I'm kind of nerdy about music, always checking the charts, always checking what's trending. So yeah, it was essentially a music show, and that's when I instantly fell in love.
Definitely. So like, if I was to tune into your show, what would I expect?
What would you expect? What wouldn't you expect? So let me talk you through, I guess, the features. I think the features were kind of what made the show stand out for me personally, right? So I had this feature called Fresh Out the Box. I don't know if you remember that Kyeezi Chana song, Fresh Air. That track, yeah. That's kind of what sparked the innovation, right? So I had this feature called Fresh Out the Box. You had Kyeezi Chana for the first 10 seconds welcoming the feature. And basically I just speak to what's happening right now, like on Twitter. You know, every time we had a music drop on a Friday in lockdown, people were living for that. You kind of get the comment, you get the engagement on Twitter. So for me, it was about shining light on what people are speaking about already and getting people's input on what dropped, you know, from EPs to albums, singles to music videos. And I think the feature became my favorite feature when I got Blackie in the show in February. And I mean, at that time, he had only released 2 music videos. So he was kind of bubbling on the scene. People were starting it. And then, I mean, 6 months later, he becomes arguably the biggest hip-hop break. So for me, it's always about keeping your ear to the ground. Always.
That's so refreshing. I used to be at UCT Radio as well.
Oh.
And, everything you're telling me is like, wait a minute. I know what she's talking about exactly. Crazy. It's so refreshing. And, you know, I mean, those are the fundamentals. I mean, like I've been saying, you know, around broadcasting. All right. So I get a feel for what your flavor is. So with understanding Good Hope FM, right? Good Hope carries a rich history in its community, which is Cape Town. Our original tagline was Cape Town's original, and that's what we really pride ourselves on. Being the station that speaks to its community, that introduces its community to new amazing talent, new music, new content, new ideas. And where do you see yourself fitting into that?
Incredible. What a question. So I think, you know, when you're dealing with a station like Good Hope FM and the identity is rooted in being Cape Town's original, I think first and foremost, it's really important to be able to celebrate the authenticity that lies within Cape Town. Because you can go to Durban, you can go to Joburg, you can go to Cape Town, but every city is going to have something that's intrinsic to them. And the minute you step foot in Cape Town, you feel the difference and you feel the vibrancy. You know there's something very right? And I think Cape Town over the past few years has gotten somewhat of a bad rep, maybe for the culture being too exclusive. But we've seen that ceiling being shattered. There's people putting Cape Town on the map, from music, from fashion, from content, you know. So Cape Town is really gaining momentum and is gaining access to this bigger conversation. But I think more importantly, it's not about just making Cape Town assimilate into the bigger picture. It's about making Cape Town have a seat at the table. And that's very passionate. Don't gas me, Kyeezi. Don't gas me.
Somebody write it. I hope you guys are recording this live. Well, I am going to save it. But wow. So check this out. If you are watching this, once again, it's Kirsti Leaf. She's one of our finalists. She's the third finalist I'm getting to speak to. If you have questions for her right now, there is a question mark right there on the live. Go slot your question in there, and we can go ahead and, ask the question on your behalf. And Kirsti, this isn't an interview. This is more of a conversation. If you have any questions regarding the station, I am open to that as well. In fact, I'll give you an opportunity. Is there any question? Because the next question I have is a tough one. But do you have anything you want to ask?
Cool. I think my question for you, Kyeezi, I mean, you're someone who's super admirable in the industry. And, when we spoke with the top 10 finalists last week, you spoke about this idea of finding your voice, right? So talk to me about how you managed to find your voice and how you've managed to differentiate yourself as a radio personality. I
think you have to be open to being uncomfortable. So often in entertainment especially, we like to find our sweet spot and you stay there. And that's great, when you find your sweet spot, that's great, you stay there. But then your willingness to want to break out of that. So what's crazy was when I got into radio, I did what they called specialist shows. I had a specialist show at campus radio level, which was a hip hop show, only hip hop. And everyone in their minds thought this guy's going to be a hip hop radio jock, you know?
Yeah.
Even the radio jocks that I really admired, all hip hop guys. And then I got to Good Hope, and they said I have enough energy and personality to break out of only being a specialist. So I was incredibly uncomfortable. I had to do radio shows that have R&B. I can tell you about Anita Baker now. I can tell you about Judy Boucher, you know? But that's because I am constantly trying to find uncomfortable spaces for me to get comfortable with. And I think that's the trick. I mean, you're great at speaking. You're great at speaking your mind. Now your challenge is going to be, how do I depict this to the simplest person on the street for them to understand, even if it's a complicated subject line?
Yeah.
And that only comes with time. And
Yeah.
if I'm honest with you, between you and I and everybody watching, I'm still finding my voice.
Yeah.
You know, even what I have to improve on. So that's the beauty of radio. It really is a marathon. The minute you feel, oh, I've got this, you're on your way out. I can guarantee it. It's just one of those things. So it forces you to consistently, if you want to be excelling at a higher level, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. I'll be honest with you, bro. It was probably in my plans, but I thought, wow, I'm doing a drive show. I need to talk about this. I need to read about politics. I need to read about, it's so crazy. This afternoon, we were going to go with the subject line that has to do with the female body and stuff. And I was like, I need to read up on that. I'm so scared to talk about that, but okay, I need to learn how to be comfortable to talk about that. And that's what happens. Good Hope FM has really prided itself on creating jocks that are well-rounded. So everyone who's on air right now, you'll come to find they've done a chart show. They've done a Sunday or Saturday afternoon show. They're not just there by mistake. So I hope I've answered you.
Definitely. More than enough, actually. Yeah, thank you for that.
All right, buddy. Here comes the crack of the question, Kirsti.
Okay. Go.
Right? I know you heard me last night. I saw you watching last night. Don't worry. Okay? In a perfect world, I come to you, I say, Kirsti, here is the Good Hope FM lineup. What show do you want to do? What's that show about? And what's the show's X factor?
Crazy. Okay. All right. Dream World. What's my show? What's the show about? X Factor. Right. So I think first things first, anything to do with music and culture, sign me up. Sign me all the way up. I think it would be a dream come true to be able to do a music chart show, just because I'm super nerdy about music and always looking out for charts. But I think also, it would be incredible to, widen the scope a little bit when it comes to music, especially what's being heard in Cape Town. There's this international movement right now with piano just breaking out. And we've got something crazy, 7 of our golden artists touring the world right now. So I think being able to amplify that right here in the mother city, I don't think piano is a genre that's necessarily top pick. So being able to, have some sort of variety when it comes to music, being able to introduce the city of Cape Town to something new here and there, but also honoring the OGs, the youngster CPTs, the Amin Harons that stay in this. So I definitely think a music chart show. The X factor would have to be interviews with up-and-coming artists, interviews with established artists, picking their brain from what they've just dropped, whether it's their latest EP, their latest album, they've won an award, etc., etc. And the third one, remind me again.
X factor.
The fact that I would be able to provide everyone listening with some sort of reassurance that they're included. Because I think we can get real technical, right? When it comes to music, when it comes to culture. But it's about accessibility at the end of the day. And like I said, always bridging that gap and making sure that everyone can feel heard. Because Good Hope FM is essentially about community, right? So you can talk about what's trending on Twitter till you're blue in the face, but you need to make it understandable for the person who doesn't even have Twitter. So the X factor for me, relatability.
Wow. Guys, I'm going to be out of a job. Guys.
Don't kill me, Kyeezi. Don't kill me.
No, I think, and that's important. It's so important that we cultivate the culture of you guys who are super talented with amazing ideas, with amazing energy to bring it on air. And, you know, this competition is so tough because there can only be one winner. And we did it last year, and I just sat and I thought, but guys, can't we also hire like him, and can't we hire her, and can't we bring them all? Because this is what broadcasting is all about. And when you spoke about your X Factor, the mere fact that you said you want to make it about your listener and not you, that speaks to the kind of person you are. And I think Good Hope FM would be very privileged to have you be a part of our team. Like I said, this is a great station to build your confidence, for you to learn, for you to be uncomfortable, for you to walk into a room and everyone, you know, is like, what are you about? And you get that opportunity. So well done on making it this far. I do have to say this, and it's not because I have to, but I'm saying it so you understand. Like I said, there can only be one winner. But, Kirsty, there's something about you that I believe, I don't think the world is ready. I don't think the world is ready.
Thank you, Kyeezi.
You know?
Thank you. Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure. Wait, hold on. Before I let you go, I got some questions here. Before we do all the other stuff. All right. Well, like this.
Let's go.
Who are some of your favorite artists right now?
Okay, can we narrow it down a little bit, hey? Can we say internationally, nationally? What are we gonna go with?
Yeah, you're such a radio jock. All right. Give me two international, two local.
Okay, let me start with local, right? Now I'm gonna have to do a special mention also for Cape Town. Okay, so favorite national, Blackie, easily. If I had a gun to my head and I had to rap someone's lyrics word for word, Blackie. Second up, shout out to Nalu in Cape Town. She's got next. I think she's got next. She just dropped a song.
Lockdown blues. I got the lockdown blues. Woo!
Right now. Internationally, I think I'm really loving Kid Leroy. I think he's very he's been TikTok for literally months. He's got everyone in a chokehold. And then I'm a lover girl, so Champagne Papi, Drake, you know.
I knew it. I could tell you that she's gonna say Drake. Okay. All right, let me see what else I got here. All right. Great choices, by the way. All right. Shout out to DJ Names. I see you, bro. Hold on. Ooh, great question. If you had a choice, who would be your first interview on Good Hope FM?
Guys are coming in hot, eh? Geez, first interview. Who am I itching to talk to? There's this kid, right? He's about 17 years old. He goes by the name of the narrator.
Okay.
And he feels like a youngster CPT protege. I feel like he's definitely Cape Town's next. I'll be very honest with you. And I've heard stuff. He speaks to what's happening in Cape Town, like reps Cape Town to the T. So I think he's definitely someone that I'd like to hear from. And I think the Good Hope FM listeners would like to hear from him too. So yeah, shout out to the narrator, CPT.
The narrator, CPT. I'm going to check him out online. I know of Pretty Prince, who's the young gentleman who's also making quite a name for himself. So shout out. All right. I got Gareth Brown. Oh, this is a tough question. Oh, yo, you're getting all the tough ones tonight. What does success look like for you?
Geez, holistically? Let's go with holistically. Okay, that's cool. Let's go with holistically. I think success for me, is avoiding comparison. I think once I've finally mastered the art of looking at my skills, looking at the way that I dress, looking at the way that I speak, and not feeling like I need to compare myself to anything or anyone, I think that's success for me. Being at peace with who I am, the way that I carry out my talents, the way that I display my gifts, peace of mind for me is success. So yeah.
Wow. Guys, are you hearing this? Wow. I'm actually speechless. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not trying to. It's so refreshing. How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm 20 years old.
You are 20 years old.
Ish, I'm a 2000 dog. 20 years old.
What are you gonna sound like when you're 22? Oh my gosh. Wow. What are you gonna sound like when you're 23?
You're making me smile too much. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you.
Sorry, I'm a visionary. It's like, wow. All right. Wow. Before we wrap this up, is there anything else that you wanted to ask? Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I think my final words, if anything, I'm really privileged to have made it to the top 5. You know, like I said, this was an incredible experience. I think I would love to be in addition to the Good Hope FM lineup, just because of how vibrant the station is and the identity speaks to me as a person. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think more than that, this radio thing's bigger than me. It's so much bigger than me. So I'm excited to be able to empower, to amplify. And like I said, it's about contribution, right? We form part of an ecosystem, especially in the entertainment industry. And it's about uplifting Cape Town and then also bringing them into the conversation, you know? So yeah, I want to say thank you to Kyeezi for your time. You've been incredible. You're someone I admire so much. And I'm so excited for what's to come. So yeah, thanks so much for your time.
Wow. Everybody, I know you're going to have to put your phone down, but here we go. Kirsti, I'm so happy I don't have to pick who the winner is. I'm ecstatic that I don't have to pick who the winner is because I don't know how they're going to pick a winner. But like I said before, phenomenal. Your audition's great. And if you've made it this far in the competition, you can do radio. There's no, it's not yet. All right. So for you, you're 20 years old. Go in and don't stop. I think your voice needs to be heard, and I think Cape Town would appreciate hearing your voice, and I wish you all the best in the remainder of this competition. Young lady, you're phenomenal.
Thank you so much, Kyeezi. The tall wonder himself said I'm phenomenal, guys. Thank you.
You're phenomenal.
You
absolutely. Guys, please follow her online. There's a handle right there in the comment.
Please.
Follow her, show her love, keep her in your thoughts. We're going to be announcing the winner soon. Wow. Woo! I gotta go.
This is Good Hope